push the energy that's right. And take a pic and send it to your friends who miss their flights. Where the carriers there, masqueraders there. Where the vetters there, yo, the vetters there. Here we go, there we go. Jump and get some bad. They'll waste a spin like fun. I make them understand. It's a master play moment. It is a moment. Yellow wine moment. It is a moment. Yeah, 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 yeah.
99.9 WEFM.
WhatsApp us or call us at 457-9997. Activated Mornings on WEFM 99.9 is on now.
What do you know? It's another day of Activated Mornings with Roleza and Dianna, of course. Usually at this time, we would have our commentary from PeeJohn, but I mean, we haven't heard from him for a while. PeeJohn, we really do hope that all is well with you. It does not seem as if we will be getting, because normally PeeJohn would have called already, but we have not received a call, so we are assuming here that we're not going to get that call. But that's okay, because, you know, there's always vibe, there's always energy, this is the best place to be, okay? You've made a wonderful decision. You've started your morning well, simply because you are tuned into WEFM. So if you are in traffic, good morning, greetings, grand rising. If you're stuck in traffic, it's okay, so long as you're listening to WEFM. Just ignore that situation, you know. I mean, gives you more time to spend with us. Look on the bright side, you know. I'm talking about bright side. Good morning, Roleza.
Oh, I need bright side. All right. So good morning to everybody. Good morning to you, Dianna. Yeah, we are back for another day. I'm looking outside and trying to figure out if it's going to rain. Honestly, folks, I'm tired. And the hurricane season hasn't even started as yet. Hasn't even been officially announced. But yeah, I don't know. It's like, okay, yeah, I know 1 minute we complain, but the place too hot, the place dry, you know, needs to rain and and then it starts to rain and then we start to complain again. Listen, I've been living in the Caribbean for so many amount of years and I still can't get used to it. All right. So I shall complain until I'm in my 90s and the good Lord takes me home. All right. That's the prediction over my life. Yeah. All right. All right. So just want to say good morning again to everybody, wherever it is that you are. Yesterday morning, I started shouting out names of places that we mispronounce here in SVG, and I got a couple more, right? So I'm just going to hail up these people who are from these particular places and villages and communities, all right? So good morning to the folks in Dash the Hill. Good morning to those in Enums. Good morning to those in Canary, to those in Prospect, Annisville, and somebody told me about one yesterday, Hadnius Village. I didn't know about this one, but this one is Hadley's Village.
Oh.
Person say Hadnius Village. All right. They know that one. I learned that one yesterday. All right. So Dash the Hill, Enums, Canary, Prospect, Annisville, and Hadnius Village. Good morning to all of you. All right. Yeah.
All righty then. Now we are going to head into our topic of discussion, as we're not going to receive our other commentary today. And what are we going to be talking about? Well, the police, first of all, I think by now most of us have heard, and it was read in the news this morning here, about a boat that washed ashore on Canawan, and it had what appears to be decomposed bodies on it. But that is as much information as the police have thus far. They say it is active and ongoing. And if you have any information on that particular situation, you can call in 999-911, as well as their other numbers to give further details. So that is a boat washed ashore on Canawan containing some decomposed bodies, and that is all we have so far. But the police also had a press briefing yesterday, and let's go through some of what was discussed in the press briefing. So at the press briefing, the commissioner spoke, the deputy commissioner spoke, as well as the ACP in the Major Crimes Unit, which is Mr. Bailey. The commissioner They all extended their condolences to the families of those who have been killed in, the recent goings on or going ons, whichever one is correct. The commissioner also spoke about the arrest of, why is it I don't have this man's name, but a young man from Lomans, one of the Lomans Windward. He said Lomans Windward. I think I saw something else that says Lomans Leeward. But a young man from one of our Lomans villages was arrested in connection with the Belmont homicide. So they have arrested that particular person. He's the only person that they said they have so far in custody.
All right, so his name is Kesroy Ryan.
Yes, Kesroy Ryan, right. Thank you. He also appealed to the public to come forward with information. If you have any information regarding any of the homicides that have taken place over the past couple of days, you can also contact the police if you have information to give to them. He also cautioned persons with licensed firearms. So he was addressing the issue of the young man who, as far as the police are concerned, it is a suicide. They have said that they believe that it was indeed a suicide, and
they said that though.
Yeah.
At the press briefing.
Somebody had asked. I think Kenton asked a question in the end, and I think it was Bailey himself. He said so far they believe it to be a suicide.
Okay.
But yeah,
somehow I didn't get the impression that they had actually definitively thought that. But okay.
Yeah. So the commissioner cautions those who have licensed firearms to be careful, to follow the protocols that you know of, including the rules and regulations for when you don't have your weapon on you, as it was a licensed firearm that was used in that incident with the young man. So those of you who have your licensed firearms, here is another opportunity. Here is another call from the police to take extra precaution. However safe you thought it was before, double the safety. All right, double whatever safety. Recheck your measures. Make sure that whatever you're doing, it cannot get into the hands of any other person. All right, ensure that it is as safe as possible, especially if you have children around you. And he also encouraged the public to work with the police in their investigations. The deputy commissioner also encouraged the public to work with the police. He gives and encourages the public to give information to any officer you're comfortable with. So if you have information regarding any of the incidents that have occurred, you are encouraged to call 999-911, police control, or the major crimes unit. But he's also said, if you don't want to go through all of that, if you have a police officer, a police officer, it could just be a constable, and you are comfortable with that police officer, you can give them the information, and then things will go from there. He also assured witnesses that they do not need to be afraid because of witness protection measures, such as the voice distortion. They do not have to go to court. They can give their statements from an undisclosed location. Right? So he is saying you do not need to be afraid. If you've seen something, you don't need to worry whether your safety is going to be at stake, because they have things in place to protect you, so you don't need to be afraid to come forward. And of course, the ACP and the Major Crimes Unit, he assured the public that the police will leave no stone unturned in finding the other killers, the other persons that are involved in the homicide. Additionally, they are seeking the help of the public with finding or identifying a female that they think is associated with the homicide that took place in Vermont. They say that the man was last seen with a female just a few hours before he was last seen by anyone else. He was with a female. So police are asking anyone if they have any information regarding this particular female to come forward, and as usual, to let the police know what is going on, and they have things in place to ensure your safety if that is one of your concerns. Interestingly enough, he said that the police have received threats, but that is not going to deter them from carrying on with their investigation. They're not afraid of the little threats, all right? So the officer said, you could do that all you want, but we're going to go forward because that is the job that we have to do. They also said that I believe I have this here correct. He also said that as it relates to the homicide in Belmont, they know the motive, but they are not going to disclose that to the public. That will be revealed in court. And as for the Stephen King investigation, Stephen King, who was killed in Green Hill, that investigation is progressing nicely. So those are some of the points from the police briefing that took place yesterday. You got anything you want to add here? Anything you want to?
All right. So just to go back to the bodies that washed ashore, I saw a video with regards to that, and to me it was interesting. Well, they didn't identify. It hasn't been identified in terms of how many bodies were actually found, but I found it interesting that the bodies and the contents that may have been on the boat were sort of strewn along the coast, right, along the sea, and it made me wonder if they were actually in the water, and as the waves hit the shore, then things spread out, because it wasn't a case where it was in one centralized location. They were spread out along a beach, right? So that's interesting. Persons are wondering whether they are African migrants. Some persons are of the view that they're Haitian. They may be Haitian. So we would just have to await the findings and the outcome of that in particular. All right. Now, with regards to the press conference, I think one of the bigger takeaways that I've had from it is how quickly the police were able to bring someone into custody with regards to the triple murder in Belmont. I also noticed that several charges were laid to the individual regarding murder and attempted murder. But in the police report, I did not see mention being made of the 7-year-old. I saw ages being given of other individuals, but the 7-year-old wasn't listed, right? So I'm curious if an attempted murder charge is also not going to be laid against Mr. Ryan with regards to the 7-year-old, right? So maybe, I don't know, police could probably clarify that, or just let us know what's happening with that, because, a child was shot in the process, right? And another bigger takeaway for me is the fact that the police indicated that a lot of persons came forward with information. And we always say that police, number one, can't be everywhere, and police cannot solve crime strictly on their own. It has to take the efforts of the general public coming forward with information, and that was evident in this particular case, right? It's been happening in other matters, but in terms of how quickly somebody was able to be charged, commendations have to go out to the public, all right? And is this a case where we're seeing that, there is greater confidence in the police, there's greater confidence in terms of coming forward with information? I want to look at it as a positive stat. And I'm not saying that this is only been happening in this situation. It's been happening in other cases as well. But this is also a way for us to be able to take back our society. You may see something, you may not necessarily think that it might be something that's big and something that's overwhelming, but police are always able, it's solving a crime is like putting puzzle pieces together, all right? So you get information from this person, get information from that person. Police would be the single individual, the single body that would be putting all of this information together, all right? So commendations in this case. Police, hats off to you guys. I'm not saying y'all don't deserve it. Hats off to you guys. But I'm giving the bigger hats off to the general public out there who came forward with information and who are going to come forward, because, yes, I am being very optimistic, who are going to come forward in many more cases so that we as a society can take back control of our communities and our nation. All right. So, yeah.
All right, then.
All right, so just before we jump out, you had something else to say with regards to this? All right, so Dexter Sampson is sending out, Dexter, this is a long boy. All right. Dexter is sending out anniversary greetings to himself and his wife from North Union. All right, so Dexter, you have a long thing here. Sorry, I can't read all of it now, but happy anniversary to Dexter and Leah Cupid Sampson of North Union. All right. And we like to see happy marriages. All right. So happy anniversary to both of you.
And with that, we are going to head straight out of this talk segment. We're just going to play an ad, and then in just a couple of seconds, we are going to have our traffic talk.
The Quartz 5-day sale.